Warning. The facts you are about to hear are based off 2 hours of researching the pros and cons of history's heroes and most controversial figures. This is Pros and Conquerors, the bad boys of history.
I did try and do a little mushrooms and watch The Passion of the Christ last night.
Oh God, you can't do that.
And
you should.
And I was like, what the fuck? There's demons in this movie. There's actually
Is there actually?
there's yeah. I'm like, this a horror movie? Early in the movie, so basically, I was very curious where that movie was going to pick up from. You know what I mean? Jesus, his life. Obviously, I know it's about him getting tortured, but where is it going to pick up from? So it picked up from the night that he's getting betrayed. So him and the apostles are like, I don't know if they're on the run, but fucking the cops roll up on them. Judas points him out, and Jesus ends up getting arrested. Now, before the cops show up, he's having a bad dream or something, and when they're in this forest, you see this demon head pop out, quick time, and then after, when Jesus is getting arrested, there's basically some guy that people can't see that's they're talking shit to him. I guess he's supposed to be the devil or something.
Yeah.
What the fuck? There's
Talking shit to Jesus?
He's like, yeah, you're fucked now, pussy.
What? He actually said those words?
No. I don't even.
I was like, what?
Anyways, so between those two things happening early in the movie and just having to read subtitles, I'm like, no, I'm not doing this on shrooms.
Subtitles?
Yeah, Passion of the Christ is not in English.
Oh, I've only seen the beating scenes. I don't want to watch.
I was like, nah, I'm out. But it's not 3 hours. It's only a little over 2. So I was gonna watch it, but the fact that it's subtitles, nah, I'm not down. And there's other Jesus movies that I'll be down to watch it. I don't want to watch.
Listen, you give me a Jesus
movie
read with Matthew McConaughey as Jesus, it could be 4.5 hours. I'm gonna watch that movie.
You know what's funny? I was gonna live tweet this movie. I said it's been 2021 years since Jesus spent his last year on earth. I'm gonna live tweet Passion of the Christ. So I start up Passion of the Christ, and I'm like, fuck it, I'm not watching this movie. And my first thought was, I'm like, I wish I would watch the Snyder cut of this though. see how he reimagines it.
Yeah, 100%. That's the thing. It's yeah.
Mel Gibson, not a great director in my opinion.
Yeah. Well, yeah. No, well, you know what?
People like that movie. I didn't like it.
Yeah, some people love that movie.
I got 10 minutes in and I threw it out, so I can't really speak on it too much.
Yeah. Well, fuck. I don't know. A lot of people like it because they have to. Because the Jesus movie. That's why it made so much money. You can't not see the Jesus movie.
True.
It's fucking ridiculous.
Speaking of the Jesus movie.
Lucky for me, I'm godless.
Damn. That's a crazy way to get into this episode because today.
No, I'm kidding.
It's Pros and Conquerors, the bad boys of history. And this one man's name rang out in history so much that we've ended up basing the whole calendar off him. It's 2021 years since he died, guys. 2021 years after death. We're doing Pros and Conquerors, the bad boys of history on Jesus Christ. Now, coming to the stage, Jesus. Everyone give up your money. Empty your pockets. Jesus is here.
Ooh, you know what Jesus movie I would watch? Jason Momoa as Jesus.
Oh, he'd make a good Jesus.
Oh, shit.
He'd make a great
Jesus. Doesn't he have fucking blue eyes?
No, but he could.
That would be a fucking Jesus movie and a half. Mm-hmm. Go right ahead. And then The Rock is in it somehow.
Pontius Pilate? He's the one that tortures him?
Yeah.
They actually have to have a fucking heavy fight?
Ooh. How good would that Jesus movie be? Give me a Jesus movie like that. Just throw some shit in there.
The Pontius Pilate goes to whip Jesus. Jesus just grabs the whip, pulls him towards him. They're face to face now, and he's like, "If you're gonna put your hands on God's son, then put your goddamn hands on me." And they just start fighting.
That's amazing. That would be so good. He pulls him in. They're right like this. Oh man! And then lightning strikes just as he says that because he's fucking connected to God.
What did the Romans believe in at that time? Because Jews people believed in the Jewish stuff. Mm-hmm. Jesus was a Jew. He got in trouble for claiming to be king of the Jews. But the Romans are the ones that tortured him because they were running camp or whatever around there. I wonder what they believed in.
I think it was either because people were calling him the Messiah? Like, I think it was because he was like a god. He was claiming to be a god.
Son of God, yeah. But
isn't that something?
What religion were Romans at that time?
Oh, what religion were they? I don't
that
know.
was before they ended up being heavy
you,
Christian.
You know what they were? They were whatever Egypt said.
Okay, they were probably some pagan stuff.
Well, people say that Christianity originated in Egypt. The whole concepts, all the concepts of it and everything. That's what they say, and that's why they're so heavily Roman and Catholic.
You blew the top off this whole episode because I didn't know about all that, but we will.
Oh, really? You didn't know that?
We'll do Jesus's life, but man, when I looked into, because I whenever we do an episode of somebody, I look in their greatest accomplishments, the worst thing they did. Sometimes I type in the ugly truth, the good, the bad, the ugly, the pros and cons. I look everything that the internet, good and bad, has to say about this. Right now, there's one video called "Who is the Real Jesus," and it blew my fucking mind. And it is related to some of the stuff that you're talking about. Like a lot of the concepts in Jesus's life came from a story in Egypt. Now, I was gonna end it with that. That was gonna be the fucking.
Oh, bro, yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Don't end it with like something crazy. Bring that to the forefront. You know what I mean?
You want to do that at the beginning?
Well, I mean, you just brought it up. I mean, you brought it up to that extent. That's enough. That's
pump
enough.
The brakes.
Yeah.
It's not enough because I want. Okay, spoiler alert, guys. We got a lot of good stuff that you're gonna hear along the way, but that's gonna be at the end of the episode.
You're still a man of God, yes? It didn't turn you.
Always a man of God.
It didn't sour you.
No,
right?
if anything.
Okay.
Oh, if anything, it makes it even more so.
True.
I'm not one to be hung up on religion. I believe in God. I believe that God has my back. I give thanks and praise to God, whatever that is. I listen to Christian pastors because I like the moral of the story and I like the way they present ideas. But I'm not out there saying like Jesus is my king.
True. Okay.
But shout out if he is your king. We're gonna give you the good and bad of what Jesus did. And listen, to be honest,
he can
a lot of good.
Yeah, exactly. He can 100% be your king. If the queen can be the queen to people, Queen Elizabeth, you can definitely have Jesus as your king.
Yeah.
100%. Go ahead. You know what I was actually gonna say just before because I might forget. There was rumors. There's always been rumor speculation that Jesus went to the east and he disappeared out there, right? And you know what they used to call? And they say that he went like around some monks, some yogic type monks, and he came back wearing orange. That was a representation of like letting go of all material things.
This guy.
You know what they used to call India? The Chinese. You know what they used to call it? Heaven.
Ooh.
It was very weird. So Jesus might have went to heaven.
Interesting.
He might have went to heaven and then came back.
This guy's skipping steps. Hopscotch.
Because if you went to heaven and then came back, well then you would be the Son of God. You would be a godly man.
You'd be resurrected.
If you went to heaven, learned all that religious stuff, and then came back, you'd be a godly man.
Very interesting. Because let's get into it.
We're everywhere.
Let's get into it. Let's start at the beginning.
Go from the top.
Now Jesus, a lot of hype around this guy. He was born of a Virgin Mary. So let's start there. So Virgin Mary, she was visited in a dream, telling her that, hey, God wants that womb. He wants to get up in your guts and give you the Son of God. She wakes up. She's pregnant.
Damn.
So now she's pregnant with Jesus. Now, how did the streets start to find out about this? Well, there was a really bright star in the sky, the eastern sky. Oh my God, that star is so bright. These three wise men, three kings, they saw it and they're like, that is a sign that a savior is being born. A Messiah is being born.
Oh, fuck.
So they start traveling to where that star is. That was December 25th. Jesus coming out the womb.
Okay.
Jesus is born. Oh my God. The wise men got there. They gave him gifts, gold, silver, myrrh. It was sick. All right. That was the birth of Jesus. Now,
myrrh is just bread, right?
I don't even think so. No, it's like some next, like, gold, frankincense, and myrrh, right? Yeah. I don't know what's what. Yeah. Anyways, from birth to 12, we didn't hear that much about him. But at 12, he was on a pilgrimage with his parents, and he went missing for 4 days. Where's Jesus? Where is Jesus? And when they found him, he was basically preaching to some older guys, in a temple. He was talking to the elders, discussing significant matters, and having like really like intelligent opinions on it. 12 years old. So this is the first time that they're like, this kid is a prophet.
Okay.
Now, here's the missing years, because from 12 to 30, we don't hear from Jesus again. Now, this is the time where speculation is that he might have went to study in India.
Wow.
So I found that out too. I never heard that before. They said that there's speculations that he studied from mystics, Eastern mystics in India, which is really interesting. I never heard of. There's also some people that have a speculation that he ended up in North America, but there's like no evidence. It's just like, these are different theories that might have come. And then the most basic theory is that he was being a carpenter and, you know, working for his dad, whatever. Like, that's why you didn't hear much about him. He was just working in the warehouse. He was working in the warehouse and feeling like a dead end job. And he's like, man, I remember when they told me I was the son of God as a kid. And then at 30 years old, he's like, fuck it. I'm leaving this dead end job and I'm going to go become the Messiah. So those are the three different theories that I found.
I think it's the India one. I think that makes the most sense.
It makes
because you know
heck
what?
of a lot of sense.
You know what? The guys who are the people still doing this type of stuff that Jesus did? Those fucking yogic fucking guys in the mountains. They still do shit like that. They still do weird shit that people can't explain at all.
That's really interesting. And there's obviously the Bible, Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John, they all tell the story of Jesus, but apparently there's one other lost book called the Book of Thomas, and it's 114 of Jesus's sayings, and a lot of the sayings are stuff about harnessing your inner
chi
kind of
no fap. He's on some no fap shit.
I'll pull up one of the sayings, because where is it?
He's like, protect your seed from these wenches, gentlemen. Store your seed up. It's
like stuff that a life coach would say to you, like somebody about your the secret, like stuff like that.
Yeah.
He was on that. If those who will lead you to look, the kingdom is in the sky, then the birds of the sky will precede you. If they say it is the sea, then the fishes will precede you. Rather, the kingdom is inside you, of you, and outside you. When you come to know yourselves, then you will be known, and you will realize that you are children of the living Father. But if you do not come to know yourselves, then you exist in poverty, and you are poverty. Do you get it?
Yeah.
Look inside yourself. Harness the power within. Anyways,
because I studied Buddhism a lot, and
it's very similar
and shit. Yeah, it's so. Yeah, what the fuck? That was almost like you were reading like a Chinese proverb.
So that
was fucking.
There's 114 sayings. I want to keep the episode moving along, so we won't get into too many of them. Maybe we'll come back to them later on in the show, because I like to close out with quotes. But
what's that one say?
Which one?
Sipping on gin and juice, laid back, with my mind on my money and my money on my mind. What? He said that?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Come to know what is in front of you, bro.
Come
this
to know
guy,
what
this
is in
guy
front of you.
went to Asia,
and that which is hidden
this is
from you.
Cultural appropriation. Was he the first? Oh, that's
You think he cultured? Yeah, and he did a successful.
He didn't even pay no credit. They were like, Jesus, how'd you learn this? He was just like, I'm just that guy. It's just been like that. You know who I am.
Yeah, I just showed up at 30. I disappeared.
Hair.
Last time you saw me, I was preaching in the temple. 12 years old. Disappeared for 18 years. Now I'm back. I get baptized by John the Baptist, my cousin.
My cousin.
When he got baptized, he went to fast in the desert for 40 days and 40 nights. He wanted to experience that. And the devil appeared to him 3 times.
So he went on a vision quest?
He went on a vision quest.
Bro, this guy's taking shit from native people, from Asian people. Wow. Look at him go.
He's getting it all, man. That's how you become the Messiah.
True. He's like the last airbender. He's just like taking it all.
So the devil appeared to him 3 times, and he said no every time. He's like, hey, Jesus, you want some water? He's like, get the fuck out of here, devil. Hey, Jesus, you want this pussy? Get out of here, devil. Hey, Jesus, here's some nice air conditioning. He's like, get the fuck out of here, devil. And after he denied him 3 times, he was ready to be that dude.
Do they say like what it was when he appeared? Like what the devil wanted or what he said?
I'm sure they do. I don't have time to make that many notes. I get the gist of it, bro.
I'm sure they do.
They probably do. So now that he denied the devil 3 times in the desert in his 40-day vision quest, he came back and he was ready to start preaching and performing miracles. Now, that was like time to be Jesus.
Yep.
So let's get into some of his miracles. This is the pros and cons. Miracles are pros, I find. He did some stuff as simple as calming a storm. See some guys out on a boat, vicious storm outside. Jesus comes out and he's like, yo, storm, chill. And the storm's just like, all right.
Really?
That's
that one of the things?
That's one of the. He had things like feeding 5,000 people, bread, by multiplying bread and fish. So basically, when he was out there preaching, he obviously had his core 12 disciples that rolled with him everywhere he goes. But as he went, more and more people wanted to hear him talk. More and more people wanted to hear this guy spreading the gospel of a lot about unconditional love, a lot about forgiveness. Now, I don't know exactly what the Jewish people thought about forgiveness, but at the time it seemed a lot harder to go to heaven and a lot easier to go to hell.
Yeah, for sure.
So
that's everywhere.
Jesus was coming in and being like, you know what? People make mistakes. Thou shalt know, he who is without sin shall cast the first stone. There was a girl getting stoned for cheating on her husband. Yeah. She was getting stoned, and Jesus came up and he's like, guys, we all make mistakes.
Yeah.
So Jesus was coming with these are his new ideas, right?
True.
Now, along the way, more and more people want to listen. So one time, there was 5,000 people there. There was 5,000. He's like, how am I going to feed all these people?
Yeah, that's a big crowd.
There was 2 fish and a little bit of bread that his disciples went and found from a little kid selling stuff in town. Mm-hmm. They're like, well, this is all we could get, Jesus. He's like, that'll do. Jesus looked up into the heavens, and he's like, God, provide. You know what I mean?
Is that what he said?
Pretty much. And
he said, I need some
next thing you know,
I need some big boss shit right now, God.
Next thing you know, there's enough for all 5,000 people, and it's a little extra to spare.
A little extra to spare?
Yeah. He fed everyone, and then the disciples were like, Jesus, we can't even finish this.
Oh, they were full, eh?
Ooh, buddy.
Bro. You know what this sounds like? Sounds like an alien. That's what that sounds like.
Damn.
You never know.
Have you watched the show Messiah?
No.
Okay, quick break from what we're talking about, Jesus. There's a show called Messiah.
Okay.
On Netflix. I think it's on Netflix.
Yeah.
And basically it's about how the Messiah would be treated if he came back today.
Okay.
They make him, it's a Muslim guy in like the Middle East. He starts doing miracles and stuff just like this. People start listening to what he's saying. I won't go too much into it. Good show. Watch it. You'll like it. It's only 1 season. Anyways, so back to Jesus's miracles. He walked on water. Very cool. Very cool.
True.
Who wouldn't want to walk on water? So basically his boys were out in the boat. Peter already believed like that Jesus could do miracles. He's seen him do the fish thing. You know what I mean? He's seen him do different things. So he sees Jesus out in the boat and he's like, God damn, Jesus, that's sick. You're walking on water? He's like, yeah, you can come walk on water too. He's like, all right. Peter takes a couple steps on. He's like, he's actually walking on water. He was walking on water too. He believed in himself, but it was very windy and the waves were crashing. He started doubting a little bit, sank. Jesus grabbed him by the hand. He's like, why'd you doubt me?
He's like, bitch, I know you doubted me because you're wet. Because you're wet, motherfucker.
You're soaking wet right now.
You looking like a clown right now.
Yeah.
In front of all my boys. Fuck's wrong with you?
So we're building up a lot of pros, right? This guy's feeding people, walking on water. Now,
why did you doubt me? So like, he's going into like mind and mindset. That's so weird. Weird. Okay.
A lot of people wonder why he turned water into wine in that one story about Jesus.
People trying to get fucked up.
So, but they're like, what, did Jesus like to party?
You can drink water anytime. Wine? That's some live shit.
Well, what happened was Jesus had just started building up a lot of clout.
I was going to say followers. Yeah.
Jesus had mad clout at the time. People saw him feeding. People saw him healing, preaching.
He's stunting.
They liked
people.
him. So his mom was like, yo, come to this wedding. Come through. And he's like, okay, I'll come. My mom wants me to come. I got invited. The family wants me there. I'll go. His disciples were like, Jesus, we're like on a trail right now. We're spreading the word of God. Like, should we really be taking a break to go to a wedding? He's like, I got invited. Okay.
That's it.
So he goes to the wedding. They run out of wine, and his mom comes and she's like, yo, they ran out of wine. Like, can you do some Messiah shit right now?
Oh, so she knew there wasn't enough wine. Then she invited him.
Oh, maybe. Because Jesus was like, woman, it's not time for that shit. I'm not ready for that. But she's like,
I'm not ready.
She's like, Jesus, they invited you. Like, these people invited you to their wedding. She's like, all right. He ends up turning all the water into wine, and the wine apparently tasted really good. The people, the wedding planners were like, hey, husband and wife, usually we save the good wine we have the good wine first because people aren't drunk yet. We save the bad wine for later. She's like, you're lucky. We actually have the best wine to finish the night with because Jesus just made it. It all tastes great.
Wow.
Now,
Jesus just made it. It all tastes great.
The moral of the story is if you invite Jesus into your life, good things can happen.
He wines and dines you. Literally.
You invite Jesus into your life, you run out of stuff, he can make other stuff come back up.
And that's actually true. I don't know. Yeah, it's so weird. It's so weird to think of the story of Jesus, the person of it, because it's like that is a true thing. Like I say that all the time. I say like your passion will always provide for you. You know, because as long as you believe in it, you love it, and all that shit, it will provide eventually. So it's so fucking weird to hear him talking like this and doing these things. It's like such a parable.
You know all these stories already, right? Or am I telling you some new ones?
No, I know. Yeah, I know. Well, no, I know about the walking on water, the wine, the miracles.
He also gave blind men their sight.
Oh,
now,
yeah?
This one, some people say they could just be being funny, but when I look into the pros and cons, one of the cons was that Jesus, the way he healed blind men was he would spit on their eyes and rub dirt on them. He's like, why'd you have to spit on it? Really, Jesus?
Yo, can you imagine?
Couldn't you just put your hands on my eyes and fix them that way? No, I have to spit in dirt and rub it on your eyes.
Could you imagine you're just walking and all of a sudden you just see some guy, some long-haired dude, he's putting his hair back and he's spitting in some dude's eye.
Yeah.
And the dude's on his knees and he's just like this. He's like taking it like Visine or some shit. He's like, go ahead. And he rubs dirt in his face. Yeah. And then he can see?
Yeah. Because sometimes Jesus, he liked to flex on people. I'll tell you that. When I was looking into his miracles.
Maybe it was just like showmanship.
Because watch this. There's one time Jesus raised a guy from the dead. His name was Lazarus. Big story. Now, Jesus had to put a little sauce on it. So Jesus comes and he's like, oh, he's dead? Let him decay a little bit. I want people to show how dead he really is. So he actually let the guy start decaying. Like, Jesus could have saved him earlier. But he's like, I want everyone to really realize my power. So I want to make sure they know he's good and dead. And then he raised him for the dead.
Know who I am, guys, okay?
Yeah.
All right?
I didn't just raise a guy that just died from the dead.
Come up.
I heard a guy that was dead.
Do you see this guy? No life. Okay? Leave him there 4 days. I'll be back.
I want to see worms crawling out of his eyeballs before I wake him up.
And believe me, he's going to wake up. You guys know who the fuck you're dealing with.
Now, one of the miracles he did that's not in the Bible, but it's actually in the Quran. Because he's in the Quran. Did you know that?
I heard that he's mentioned more than Muhammad.
Oh, I didn't know all that. I want to learn more about that. But basically, Jesus was seen as a prophet, and apparently, he did 2 miracles in the Quran that aren't in the Bible. And one is when he was a baby, he spoke immediately, and the reason he spoke immediately was to let everyone know that his mom is not a hoe.
Really?
Like straight up, he's like, yeah, legit, she was a virgin, guys.
What? He was born. He just came out.
He's born. And he's like, yo.
He's like, listen, guys. First things first. I've been hearing some fucking talk.
Yeah.
About my mom.
You guys.
Dogs.
You got questions about my mom? Well, here's a baby talking, settling those questions. So basically, when he was born, the story is that he talked in the cradle. So the cradle, right away, he's born, and he said, "Wow, I came here to be a slave for God. Like, I am God's." God sent me to be a slave for God, to be a prophet. They didn't say the son of God, but he basically came to be a messenger from God.
That's scary as fuck.
Yeah.
Can you imagine your baby stands up and it's in the crib and says, I am here to be a slave for God. I'd be like, oh, well, you can go. You need to leave.
Damn.
Because you just said a full sentence in a grown man voice to me. You need to go. Bye. Bye. You can talk, so you can work. Definitely, you talk well too.
It's crazy.
You have a voice as deep as mine.
I never heard that. They don't tell you that one in the Bible, and that would be
of course because that's scary as fuck.
It would be pretty notable.
But you know what? You know what's weird about that?
Mom is not a hoe.
Is that like Damien has the same kind of story?
Who's Damien?
Like you never heard like The Omen, like those movies, like the Antichrist.
Okay.
Like Damien, he has this like the same origin story. Like he was a baby. He was doing miracles, doing weird things, talking, and like just knowing things, knowing like
12 years
more.
old. Yeah.
Even younger. He was like way young. At least in these movies, right? I've never read any story about it, but it's just it's weird.
Well, I'm sure if they made a movie about the Antichrist, they probably looked at the story of Christ.
Yeah, maybe.
So I mean, this is a pretty old story. I don't think Damien was based off.
Well, I mean, if you really go into it, there's speculation of this Jesus being the Antichrist.
Come on.
Yeah.
Come on.
There is. There's a whole narrative.
What did he do?
No, he didn't do anything. It's just like everything that's up is down, and like he's actually the Antichrist.
Bizarro world.
That's what they say. That's what some people say.
Like I said, 2 miracles he did in the Quran. One was talking as a baby. Another one was he created a bird out of clay. He made a clay bird, and then he's like, give it life, and he breathed into it, and it became a.
Let's just go back to this. You would be scared of any kid that did all this stuff.
I think he did that.
We wouldn't be happy about this kid. We wouldn't be enthralled with this kid. We'd be like, what the fuck's going on with this kid? You think he was evil? Nah. Our first thought today would be that's weird. That's not right.
But whether you believe Jesus was the Son of God or not,
I think he was God. I think that's how he came out and started talking about Mary.
That's crazy.
Because isn't that what he's supposed to be? He's from God. He's like the human form of God. Like, isn't that actually what he is? And like he's God's son because God makes us in his form, and like same thing with his own son.
We could all be God's children.
Yeah. Well, we all are, and then also in his image.
That's why I don't really understand why it riled so many people up, because we always say we were God's children. He is the Father. So one guy's coming down saying, I'm God's son, and it riles up people that much.
I think it's because back then, like from all the episodes we've done, it seems like saying that you're akin to God is like a kingly thing to do. And like maybe if you're not in that lineage or role and you say some shit like that, people are like, who the fuck are you to say that?
Okay.
Like this guy can say it because he's a king. Obvious, he must be connected to God.
So that's why you think they got upset, because he he was a long-haired hippie,
and also the Jewish
carving
people,
things, making birds, doing magic tricks.
Yeah, and Jewish people just didn't believe that he was the Messiah. So I guess also to be saying that, I don't know, because wouldn't they be saying that too? Like we're the children of God.
But yeah, that's why I'm
weird.
It is weird. I will say, okay, we'll take a break from all his cool miracles to say some of the un-Jesus-like things he did. Now, when I look at so many things, good and bad, I try and find all the bad I can. Honestly, Jesus didn't do that much bad stuff.
Jesus did something that I did. There's one thing that he did that I guess it could be made as like a con. It's similar. He went into something and he started like flipping tables and flipping out.
That's one of my favorite stories in the Bible.
And I did that when I was a kid. When I was a little baby, my mom took me to church and I flipped out and I started calling everybody stupid and spitting at people.
Okay, well,
I didn't like the way they were doing things.
That's kind of what he did.
I wanted them to do things differently.
When Jesus rolled up on the temple and he saw that there was money lenders there was animal sellers there, basically treating it like a market, and he walked in like, "You're gonna do this in my father's house, yo!" Starts flipping over tables, fucking shit up. And this is Jesus by himself. He was just like, "Fuck this shit."
When he was 12, this is 12.
No, this is a grown up.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought he was a kid when he did this.
I don't think so. No.
I heard he was like 11 or 12 when he did this shit.
No. 12 is when he was just having a conversation with the elders, just letting them know how smart he was.
Oh, he's just taking it all in.
I think this is more grown up time. Let's not get hung up on that.
And by now he's like Jason Momoa size, so he can flip some tables.
Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah, man. So people say, that shows Jesus had anger. That doesn't show that he's turning the other cheek. But sometimes you just gotta let him know. You gotta let him know.
Man, being a warrior is part of being a person. Like you're supposed to have that part of you that can go inside a place that's not doing things right and flip tables. Yeah. You're supposed to have that. What if you don't have that? Who's gonna flip the tables?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Who's gonna correct the shit?
And you don't hear that the story ends with those people being like, "Oh, Jesus, you're wrong." Nah, they were like, "You know what? You're right. I'll pack up my table. I'll move it outside." They got the point.
They're like, "This little nigga caught on. All right. I'm outside.
He's not wrong.
School, little man." Yeah. Or big man.
Yeah.
He's standing over.
I always hear about that one, and I do like that story. The one that I haven't heard, but when I was looking at the cons for Jesus, so basically one time he saw a fig tree in a distance. He's like, "Ooh, I could go for some figs right now." He walks over to the fig tree. There's no figs left on the tree, and he was pissed. He's like, "May no one ever eat fruit from you again." And he basically like cursed the tree.
He cursed the tree?
He's like, this tree's busted, yo. You don't have fruit for the Son of God, then you don't have fruit for anyone.
Maybe he walked up and realized it's never gonna give fruit again. He just said that. He was just like, let me just throw out a little prediction real quick.
I think he was just hangry. Jesus, you're not yourself when you're hungry. Have a fig.
But like,
he goes over to have
I don't know. It's kind of weird because like, I guess you can't just do miracles for yourself. Because he could have just grabbed the tree and been like, yeah, I'm going to eat the biggest fig you ever fucking saw. And just had it grow figs.
Have you ever been to a restaurant that you like, but they give you really bad service one time and then you're like, I'm never going to that restaurant again?
But you didn't even get to try one yet.
He knows what figs taste like. Have you ever, has that ever happened to you though? Have you ever banned a rastron? I've been Denny's for like 10 years.
Bro, it's not all Hero Burgers, but there's one. I forget where it is. It's like in Richmond Hill. It's like I forget where it is exactly, but it gave me really bad food once, and I was like, never again.
Never again.
And then another one, fucking at Young and Shepherd, another one. These fucking people were racist.
Wow.
There's an Asian guy waiting inside. He was just chilling. Stop Asian hate, by the way, of course. But he was just chilling, and then when I made my order, they're like, wait outside. And I was like, what? No. And I had a big fight with these fucking Persian people.
This is before pandemic?
Asian guy wasn't wearing a mask. I can see the Asian guy's face. It must maybe it was right as it was happening.
Because I'm just thinking if there's like a limited amount of people out inside.
But why would one guy be able to stay inside and not the other guy? If the other guy just got here, if he's been waiting, then he goes outside. If I'm the first one, if I just came in, then I would be waiting.
No, if his food's going to be ready first, then he would be waiting inside and you'd wait outside.
No, he would wait outside.
I don't know. I'm confused.
And then they would bring the food out to him.
Fair enough. They could do that way.
Because then I'm in contact with him. I'm coming in. If there's no contact to be had, he has to go out.
The point is, you don't go back to that one.
Fucking right, I don't.
You don't. When I was
fucking bastards.
When I was a kid in Orlando, Florida, with my family, we went to a Denny's and the service was horrible, and I didn't go to a Denny's for another 10 years. I held a grudge.
How do you know the service was horrible? You were so young.
We waited so long for food. No, how do I know? I was fucking.
How old were you?
I was probably like 8, 9 years old, and I didn't
know service when you're 8, 9.
And I didn't eat Denny's again until I was 17.
Oh, you were mad. That's what you know why you were mad, because your mom was mad. You probably saw your mom was upset.
We were waiting for food.
I know. She probably was like,
I was hungry.
This is crazy. Yeah. And you were like, yeah, it's crazy.
It was.
And you're like, forever.
But the fact that I held that grudge until I was 17 years old.
You held it down for your mom. It's all right.
The fact is, Jesus held a grudge against a fig tree. And I get it. He was hangry. It's like getting snubbed at a restaurant.
He walked up to it and he's just like, what did he say? What is it?
May no one ever eat fruit from you again.
And just cursed it?
Yeah. That's like if I said that to the Denny's people. May no one ever eat your pancakes again.
Don't do that. Come on. Denny's makes some good stuff. I've never eaten there before, but I'm sure they do.
Just a couple more bad things you just did, and then we'll get back to the.
No. Bring up everything. Bring up the rapes. Bring it all up. Who did he kill? Nobody. Oh,
the only thing, the only murderous thing he kind of did was one time he saw 2 guys that were possessed by demons walking towards them, and he sent the demons out into a herd of pigs, and the herd of pigs went down a hill and to drown in water. They all died. So he just killed a herd of pigs to get rid of some demons.
Yeah, but at the same time, he's Jewish, so fuck those pigs anyway.
Yeah,
that's why he probably threw them over to the pigs, because he's like, nobody's gonna eat that.
Fair enough.
He's like, am I wrong, guys? Y'all gonna eat that? Y'all gonna eat that?
Yeah.
Was y'all gonna eat that? Everyone's like, no, Jesus, no, sir, no.
Yeah, demonous pigs. Yeah.
Yo, what if the guys that had demons were really just holding hands, and he was like, these guys are possessed by demons. They were just 2 gay guys. You never know. I always think of that kind of stuff. You gotta think of it like today. Like, how did he know they had demons? Yeah. They were just walking down the street. What did he see? What did he see that they had demons?
And then they just covered it up. But then why did the pigs run? But they just started acting not gay. He's like, "Ouch, you demon!" And
maybe he just scared the shit out of the pigs. He's screaming at the 2 guys all of a sudden. These guys are just making out. They're just living life.
True.
You know what I mean?
Fair enough.
No, I'm kidding. Jesus didn't do that to anybody.
Yeah, he caught two guys making out, and he's like, you guys are possessed by demons.
Could you imagine? You know why I always go to that? Because back then, like, that was a thing. Like, do they even talk about that stuff in the Bible?
Gay men?
Like anything, any kind of like same sex, like any of that shit. Do they talk about anything like that?
The verses in the Bible, there's verses that support gay marriage and anti-gay marriage in the Bible. That I know that I can't tell you them off the top of my head. I just know that I've heard people
anti.
I've heard people bring up stuff saying, "Oh, it's only for man and woman," but then there's also verses in the Bible that support.
Really?
Love is love.
Oh, true. Yeah, exactly. So
I'm not a scholar. I just think I heard some shit.
That's all this is. Yeah, I was just wondering because I always think of that. It's weird.
Now, one other bad thing that Jesus did.
Sorry, Jesus. I apologize.
This is a little bit petty. He seemed to be a little petty. You know what I mean? With the whole.
That's why I'm apologizing.
Don't ever eat from this fig tree again. And then another petty thing he did was when it came time to pay taxes, he's like, "Well, I'm not going to pay out of my own pocket." And he's like, "Hey, disciples, go fishing and just pull coins out of fish, like eat coins in the water." He's like, "Just start pulling coins out of fish's bellies." And he paid his taxes out of money found in fish's bellies.
What?
Yeah, so I don't know if that.
Why do fish eat coins?
I don't know if that one's a miracle. Or if he's like, "Hey, my dad probably left some change for me." Like when your dad or mom leaves some change for you on the dresser, like that was his dresser. He's like, my dad's left some change for me in that fish.
Or maybe because he went to India, his powers weren't like fine tuned, so he was like, I can conjure up money, but
it ends up in the sea.
It's in those fucking fish now, so it's there. But
yeah, and fish is a big part of Jesus' story.
Really? Oh, is that why people
as
use
far
the
as
fish?
He made the fish. He fed a bunch of people fish. You know what I mean? That time he fed a bunch of people fish. He helped fishermen catch fish before. That when they couldn't catch fish all day, one day he's like, throw your net over to the other side of the boat. They're like, yo, we haven't caught any all day. They're not gonna end up on that side. He's like, throw your fucking net on the other side of the boat. They ended up lifting up so many fish that the net couldn't even contain them. They had to get another net. Like, it was like so crazy. So fish is an ongoing theme, and we're gonna get into where fish comes from. Yes, it is the Jesus fish, and oh my gosh, we're gonna really pop the top on this episode when we get to it. So I want to keep on moving. So
I'm picturing Jason Momoa through all this. That's the or you. Your hair is wonderful.
I let my hair down for Jesus.
Bro,
today.
your hair is crazy.
I might cut it off though this year.
Don't do it. Don't do it. Listen right now. I don't have any hair. I'm telling you. Don't do it.
I'm not gonna go bald.
I'm not
I
saying
might just
you
do like
are.
a mullet.
Listen. Just keep it the way you got it.
Do you want me to show you my idea for?
Bro, you see, this is the thing with people with hair. They're just ungrateful. You know what I mean?
What do you think I'm gonna do? I don't
like
I'm
his
still gonna have
hair, like his beautiful hair, and he's like, "Oh, I think I'm just gonna cut it off, like it's an ingrown toenail."
This is the haircut I'm thinking about doing.
Bro, no. What are you talking about? I'm gonna send me that picture. I'm putting that picture up in the edit.
All right.
You're crazy. Don't do that to your head. Don't do it.
Why?
I don't know.
My hair can grow back if I don't like it.
But it doesn't take
I'm just ready for a
years
change.
for hair to grow back?
No, not me.
You ready for a change, bro? Then color it. Ooh. Give me some black hair on Jam Easy.
Crazy right now.
Black hair. Give me black Irish.
Okay. Let's let's keep this going.
Yeah.
I have dyed my hair black before, and it turned out good.
There you go.
Really made my eyes pop.
Bro, don't have hair like this and just like cut it off and be all crazy about it. If I was a white guy, I'd have hair like this and it'd just be in a fucking messy bun all the time. I wouldn't give a fuck. Messy bun all the time.
All right. Well, I've done that before, and now I'm growing up.
Okay, that's good.
But then that haircut that I showed you isn't like a really professional grown-up haircut either.
Nah.
But I think it's cool. Anyways,
okay.
So he was doing miracles. He was cursing fig trees. He was paying his taxes out of fish. He was feeding lots of people. He was healing people, healing lepers. Leprosy was a bad thing back then.
That's when your body falls apart?
Yeah, like, so lepers at that time, it was such a big thing that if you were a leper walking through town, you had to like yell out, unclean, 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 so that people would know to stay away from you.
Yo, yeah. Oh my God.
Yeah. So apparently Jesus
That's amazing.
healed a bunch of lepers, and they were so grateful, but they weren't that grateful because only one guy said thank you.
For real?
Yeah, a bunch of them were like, my leprosy's gone. They just ran off. Only one guy was like, Jesus, thank you so much.
Wow.
That's how the story
And
goes.
Jesus was like, you're never going to have leprosy again.
Yeah.
The rest of those guys, and he just walked away.
Ooh. Anyways, I say all that to say this. Obviously, all these miracles, he's going to get a lot of hype around him. So the crowd was really starting to proclaim him the Son of God,
Of course.
the Savior. And he accepted it. He's like, "You're right. Yeah, I am."
I've been telling y'all. Since I was born, I've been telling y'all in this same voice. Know me.
The increased popularity, though, had the elders in the temples and the Jewish community, the more rich and powerful, really looking at him and questioning his power, thinking, what's this guy up to? What's all these tricks? You know what I mean? He's making all these people follow him, saying he's the Son of God, like the Savior, the Messiah. They didn't like all that. So they hatched a plan to kill Jesus.
Isn't that crazy how the haters pop up?
Mm.
Just like that. He's doing all this good shit and the haters just pop up.
Yeah.
It's so weird.
And Judas, one of his disciples, sold Jesus out for just 30 silver coins. I wonder
30?
how much that would be with inflation.
Silver coin, not even that much, because he's a bitch. You know what I mean? It's like one of those things where it's like, yo, how much did they pay you to kill that guy? And it's like, oh, it's $7,000. It probably translates like into 30 grand. You can't put a price on Jesus's head. 30 grand, it's insulting.
I wonder if we can see.
This nigga walks on water.
Silver coins.
This nigga walks on water, has beautiful hair, beard, Son of God, been speaking since he was a baby. You fucking kidding me?
Inflation on silver coins from 2,000 years ago. Do you think we'll be able to find out?
If you can, that would be really cool. But I failed math.
Nah.
I failed math.
All I know is the current price is 25 and 11 per ounce, but who knows how much. Okay, this is going to be
max he had 2 ounces. Max. 30 coins, max he had 2 ounces. Because how thick were they? They had to be like this. They couldn't be thicker than that.
I don't know, man.
He had 2 ounces. Loser.
That's terrible.
What a loser.
But it was interesting. Like Jesus called his shot, like Babe Ruth. He's like, when he had the before they sold him out and everything. There's a story in the Bible how he's like talking to the disciples and he's like, somebody's gonna betray me tonight, and they're like, what? Nah. Ooh, what? And Jesus was probably there like, oh fuck, no, I hope no one's looking at me. And he also called that one of you is gonna deny me 3 times tonight. And that apparently when the arrest happened and like all this like craziness was going on, Peter, when they were like fucking up Jesus, Peter, they're like, hey, are you with him? And he's like, no, I'm not with him. It was like one of those things. Hey, aren't you like Jesus' right-hand man? Whoa. I ain't that guy.
And he denied it?
He denied him 3 times.
Wow.
And that was Jesus' like right-hand man, Peter.
He's like, we was walking on water together, baby.
There is stories of how Judas was actually like Jesus's buddy. Like he was actually like his closest disciple, and he sold him out reluctantly. Like just because Jesus, to make a statement, to be the story that we all came to know and love of Jesus, he had to get crucified, and Judas helped him do that by snitching.
Damn, you think that's real?
That's a theory.
Because you know what? You know what's funny? I said that I had a conversation with the comic, and I was saying that exact thing about like celebrities that have passed today. That maybe they like know, like in order to like get that real stardom, they're like, yo, let's plan my death.
Like who?
Like XXXTentacion maybe. Like who knows? Like any one of them that you've seen die. Like, oh no, I shouldn't even say X. I should say Juice WRLD. Like Juice WRLD, he died. He was a young guy. He died just after X, like a year later. He died, and he sent out a tweet before he died, and it said, I think I'm just gonna shine. Like I'm gonna get real famous and shine for a few years, and then fake my death.
Wow. And
it's like maybe they do that because like that's how you get to that pinnacle.
So you think he faked it?
Who knows? But like he said it, but it's like it's just funny that you just brought that up. It's like maybe sometimes people are like, I have to do this part in order for people to really get the message.
Some people are so famous that when they die, people don't even believe they died. Like Elvis, they thought faked his own death. Tupac, they thought faked his own death.
And
years. Stories came out for years. Yeah.
2010, Tupac was supposed to come back. That's what they were saying. Like Jesus, he was supposed to just pop up.
Interesting.
Yeah, man, it was crazy.
So, yeah. The way I also wanted to bring up the way that Judas pointed him out. So I guess at the time we didn't have social media. We didn't have like wanted posters. We didn't have like pictures. So not even the guys that came to arrest Jesus knew what he looked like.
Really?
They didn't know which guy was him. They probably all looked a lot alike, had the same haircut, had the same beard. So the way that Judas sold him out was he told the Romans coming to arrest him, like, okay, I'm going to give a kiss on the cheek to the guy that you're going to arrest. And that's how he did it. He went and Judas went and kissed Jesus on the cheek.
Really?
And that's how it was, like the kiss of death.
And that's why mafia guys do that today?
I don't know.
Ugh, fuck.
That's what they did though.
Because they're big into
the kiss of death. Yeah.
Yeah, they're big into Jesus.
It might come from that.
That's wild.
So now Jesus, Passion of the Christ, guy got tortured, guy got fucking on the cross. They crucified him. In all the time that Jesus, he knew eventually he had to go up. They say that Jesus died for our sins.
Yeah.
That's why the forgiveness thing, like I'm going to go open the gates of heaven. So Jesus knew that eventually his life was going to be sacrificed. But when he was up on that cross, there is stories in the Bible where he's like, all right, God, like this is a bit much.
Yeah.
He's like, what? Come on, Father, you've forsaken me.
Yeah.
Like this is pretty fucked up.
Yeah.
Everyone's yelling at me right now. I got nails in my fucking hands. I got nails in my feet. I got a crown of goddamn thorns.
Yeah.
Like I knew I had to sacrifice myself, but couldn't I just fall? Couldn't I just get crushed by a boulder or something?
Have a heart attack?
Yeah.
In my sleep?
Chase some pigs into the water, whatever. So this is, that was a little bit of a tough time for Jesus.
I've heard that. Yeah. I was telling you that the translation of that is crazy. When they actually translate what he was saying on the cross, it's like, what the fuck?
Mm-hmm.
It's like somebody was actually like forsaking him, like actually leaving him. That's what it says. He says, come back. He's like asking something to come back. And they talk about something leaving because Jesus was an alien. He's straight up an alien.
Maybe. Now, okay. So that is the story. That is the pros and cons on Jesus. Now, before we get into the next little part about where his story might have came from in Egypt, because I do want to get into that, just based off all the good and bad we heard about Jesus. Now, whether Jesus was the Son of God or not, the guy did a lot of great things.
He's amazing.
Great guy.
Yeah.
I don't even know, like, even his cons weren't that bad.
No.
I literally look on the internet to find the worst things people have done. Like, it's not like I'm trying to be kind to Jesus. I'm looking to see the dirtiest, nastiest things that the internet has to say about him, and they ain't that bad.
No. I have a lot of Jewish friends. None of them are fond of pigs. None of them. They're all just like, nah.
Now, when I did find the real story of Jesus, this is where shit gets pretty fucking interesting. So, 3,000 BC, so 3,000 years before Jesus, there was a guy named Horus, the sun god.
Ooh, you know about Horus?
Now, he was born on December 25th to a virgin mother.
Oh.
And there was 3 kings who followed a star in the east to adorn him.
Oh, you're waking up.
At age 30, he was baptized, and he started a ministry with what? 12 disciples. What did they call him? What was his nickname? The Lamb of God and the Light? Now, Horus went around traveling, spreading the word of God and performing miracles, such as healing the sick and also walking on water. Now, he was betrayed by one of his disciples, Typhon. He was crucified and he resurrected. Now, in the years following the story of Horus, they used to say he basically was the sun. Every morning, like every morning they thank the sun for coming up. That was Horus. Yep. All right, that's Horus.
And if you look at Horus's eye, the eye of Horus, it's exactly if you take it and went like that, you put it up to our brain, it's exactly the same as our pineal gland. It looks exactly the same. It's like the same shape and everything. So
you're a big Horus guy. That's one of the reasons that
I'm getting a tattoo of that.
Now, let me keep going because this shit runs deep. That was Horus. That was 3000 BC. Now, in 1200 BC, there was a guy named Attila in Greece. He was also born of a virgin on December 25th. He also was crucified and resurrected. Now, in India, 900 BC, there was somebody named Krishna, also born of a virgin. Also, their birth was symbolized by a star in the east. He also performed miracles and also resurrected. Wasn't crucified, but did resurrect.
Damn.
Now, in Greece, again, there was a guy, Dionysius, 500 BC, performed miracles like turning water into wine, was called the King of Kings, the Alpha and Omega, also resurrected. So this story, there's more. There's more coming, but I will say this.
Yeah, it looks like there is a lot more.
We run the calendar on Jesus' time. Isn't that interesting?
Yeah, of course.
After death. The greatest story ever told. It must have been the greatest story ever told, Jesus, but it wasn't the first time the story was told. That's the interesting part. Jesus existed. Jesus was a prophet, but all of these intricacies to the story about resurrection, about born on the 25th to a virgin.
Yeah.
Let's just keep that in mind as I keep going. Persia. There's somebody named Mithra, 1200 BC. Born December 25th, had 12 disciples, performed miracles. Upon their death, was buried for 3 days and resurrected. They were known as the Truth and the Light, and they also worshipped them on Sundays. All right?
Yeah, you know something about like all this that you're reading is that people talk about like another alternative thing with Jesus Christ. Is there something called Christ consciousness?
Okay.
Which that can be achieved by anybody who's willing to like walk the path, like the path, truly walk the path. And now that I haven't heard of all these. I knew that there was an Irish one that I heard of and an Egyptian one, and like there was like 2 others. I didn't hear about any of these ones, so that was crazy. And it's like maybe there is some kind of Christ consciousness that you fucking can achieve if you do the things that Jesus was talking about. If you can really actually figure out what he was talking about and then actually follow it, maybe it's something that you can achieve too. I'm not saying people can die and come back and all that shit, but like there's they can. Exactly. There's levels to this shit.
Yeah, there's levels to this shit. I just learned all this stuff today, and it's very interesting. Okay, so saviors from all over the world. They're all known as saviors all over the world. They also had the same general characteristics: a virgin birth, December 25th, having 12 disciples, and being dead for 3 days before they're resurrected. All right.
Yeah.
So we all know those things are all in Jesus' stories. All right.
Definitely.
Now, Jesus' nicknames were also the Lamb of God, the Alpha, the Omega, the Light of the world, the King of Kings, the Son of God. Same way he was betrayed, crucified, died for 3 days. Okay.
Oh, now, another reason they say the Antichrist thing is because Lucifer would be the Son of God as well, because he was his. Like he was made by God.
Everyone is.
Yeah, exactly.
So I mean, like,
yeah,
yeah, but no.
Yeah, but no, exactly. but there's a yeah.
Yeah, okay. But
you know what I mean? It's weird.
Okay. Now here's where shit gets interesting. Why does all this stuff tie together? Why does everyone keep telling the same story? Now, what doesn't change? What doesn't change? What doesn't change in the world?
The characteristics.
The sun, the sky, the stars.
The elements.
A lot of people shit on astrology. I learned a lot today. Okay, so now we have the star in the east is called Sirius. The star in the east is called Sirius. On December 24th, it aligns with the 3 brightest stars in Orion's belt. Mm-hmm. The 3 brightest stars, the 3 kings, the star. All right, they all point to where the sun will rise on December 25th. Mm-hmm. This is why people follow that star. It does symbolize something.
They also say that Sirius is actually a planet, and it has angelical beings on it.
Well, that's very interesting.
Yeah, very angelical beings that protect us.
Wow.
That come and protect us when they can.
Okay.
So that's
thank you for that, because I didn't have that in my notes. That's
and they look like this.
Like me?
They don't usually have beards, but like they'll have the long hair and like blue eyes, and like they look like angels.
That must be who's saving us from the aliens, yo. They stop on the way in. Like, I got this planet. Now, okay, the Virgo constellation, Virgo the Virgin. The Virgo symbol is M for Mary, the Virgin Mother of Jesus. This is all like how the stars tell the story of Jesus, okay?
Yeah.
Virgo is also referred to as the house of bread. It represents August and September, the September harvest. Bethlehem, where Jesus was born, translates to the house of bread.
No.
A reference to the constellation. Now, in ancient time, the shortening of days.
No. Wait. No. Real. Wow.
Were
they all just. No. No. Okay. This is very weird. Were they all just following the stars? And that's why they all have the story?
Or.
Because that's.
When. Okay, there's two ways you can look at it. Is the whole story being told by people looking into the sky and that being telling the story? Or are the things happening, they look in the sky and they tell the story through the stars? You know what I mean? They're like, well, since you're being born on this day and this symbolizes that in the sky.
Yeah.
There's two ways you can look at it, but
it's hard because like that's the one thing when we go back, the one thing that everybody has a common thing of everybody looked to the sky. Everybody knew about constellations. Everybody understood of the planets going around. Everybody knew about stars and everything like that. That was like our common. Everybody had that common connection.
Yeah.
So
and people shit on astrology, but it's like if the stars do tell a story, it's very interesting how all this stuff ties in. Now, in the ancient times, the shortening of days, the sun gets lower and lower, heading into the winter solstice. So every time you see the sun doesn't rise as much. Mm-hmm. Okay. It would symbolize death, the death of the sun. Okay, the death of the sun. On December 22nd, the sun is at its lowest point. December 22nd, it stops moving south for 3 days. It resides in one place. That's as low as it goes. Nice. On December 25th, the sun begins to rise again. The sun dies on the cross for 3 days and is resurrected.
Oh my God.
The axis is the cross.
Yeah.
And it stays there
and we even do
for
that
3 days.
Wow. Oh, I'm getting bright as fuck over here. Where's that painting? Bro, that's insane.
So this is why so many people in history have the same idea of a crucifixion and being dead for 3 days. Yep. For 3 days before rising again. And it's at that time. These people that are born on December 25th, rising, the sun's transition. Easter, coincidentally, is in spring when the sun officially takes over darkness, when we actually get those months of sun. Now, 12 disciples. Why is 12 there so much? 12, there's 12 zodiacs.
Yo, this is
which Jesus, the sun, travels with.
This is so good because usually I have to go to like deep YouTube rabbit holes to hear this type of shit. This is so good.
Yes.
And this makes sense. I've never heard it make so much sense before.
This
is fucked.
That's why I told you we have to close with this because it's nuts. Okay, mentions of 12 in the Bible. Now, some of you at home that are like, how could the Bible be into all this astrology stuff? Mentions of 12 in the Bible. 12 zodiacs. Why 12 so much? There's 12 tribes of Israel. There was 12 brothers of Joseph. There was 12 judges of Israel. There was 12 great patriarchs. There was 12 prophets. There was 12 kings of Israel. There was 12 princes of Israel. And Jesus went into the temple at 12 years old.
Oh, shit. Wow.
Now, the cross is also an old pagan symbol. The cross of the zodiac in the middle where the sun is. Everything rotating around the zodiac, there's a cross in the middle, a circle, a cross. If you see pictures of Jesus a lot, it'll be his head in a circle.
Yeah.
Jesus is the sun.
Yeah.
Jesus is the sun. There's reference in the Bible to calling him the light and rising in the ages. Okay, so the Bible might have a lot more to do with astrology than I thought.
That's so cool. Maybe that's why people talk about Jesus being a mushroom, because mushrooms take like 3 days to grow out of the ground.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it'll rain and then like it takes like usually they'll sprout it right away, but it takes some time. That's so weird. It's all so weird.
It's also weird. Now
that's crazy. You're saying
the ages of the zodiacs. I don't really know much about this stuff, but we're in the age of the Pisces right now.
Yeah.
The last age before this was the Aries. The last age before that was the Taurus. Now, in the Old Testament, Moses ushered in the age of Aries. He came down and people were worshiping a golden calf. Taurus, bull, golden calf. Yeah. He came down and he gave them shit. Like, you guys are worshiping this golden calf? He started fucking shit up. And he blew into a horn of a ram, Aries.
Yeah.
That was 1,500 years before Jesus. And then Jesus ushered in the age of Pisces. What is Pisces? Pisces is fish. Oh. Jesus has all these, he makes friends with fishermen. He multiplies fish. people have a Jesus fish on their car to this day, and
And
Jesus' birthday allegedly is December 25th, 2000 whatever AD, which is the start of the age of Pisces.
So now
Jesus is the age of Pisces.
So we're in the age of Aquarius now.
Not yet.
Not yet.
150 more, like 100 more years. It's 2150, I think. I looked into it today. But
2150. So it was just a palindrome that happened on the 21st of January. It was like 21. Okay.
I don't know this
That's
100%. So
crazy.
we might have we're going into the age of Aquarius. This is the dawning of the age of Aquarius. Anyways, so Jesus has a line in the Bible about following a man bearing a pitcher of water, where you will follow him into the house which he enters.
A pitcher.
A pitcher of water.
And who will follow him into the house?
He's saying that to people. When you see the man with the pitcher of water, follow him into the house.
Aquarius.
Exactly. So Aquarius holds a pitcher of water. So some people take that in a different way, but
that's crazy.
Like it is interesting when you put it all together to be like, okay, this is astrology, because Jesus also has a line in the Bible where he says, "I'll be with you to the end of the world," and a lot of people take this as the end of the earth is coming,
but
the apocalypse. But it's actually a mistranslation, because he says it's the end of an eon, and an eon means age. It doesn't translate to the end of the earth. It translates to the end of the age. The end of the age of Pisces is 2150. That's what I wrote down. Maybe I'm wrong, but
and Jesus will be with us.
And Jesus will be with us till then. And then there's going to be that's why I'm like, we run the calendar on this guy. This is the age of Pisces. Are we all did the thing just really take off because he was the Messiah that took over at the right time, the right age?
Like he was, yeah.
It's crazy, man. Because 15 centuries before Jesus, there was the very similar story. Like I said, lots of similar stories written on the walls of Egypt. So my mind's blown.
So maybe every once in a while somebody comes along with Christ consciousness, or comes along with the ability to attain it, and if they're put in the right circumstance. Because if you have the ability to attain it and then you go to India, you're gonna get there. Especially when there's no fucking cell phones in that age.
Yeah,
where all you could do is just that.
So is your mind blown or what?
That adds to a lot of it, because I knew a little bit of this stuff, because I've always looked like, because anytime you look into like the occult, it'll always touch into stuff around Jesus and like just what he could be, what the things that you're saying could be. Fuck. Yeah, that's a lot. That's a lot. And that's were they all just following the stars? There was a story that happened like that all the time. Was it all Christ consciousness? And wow, yeah, it's so hard to. That's fucked. It's a lot.
I know.
It's a lot.
and I know you've told me before that Jesus' story is like basically plagiarized off an older story from Egypt.
Well, that's what I heard.
But then it makes me think, has this story just been told so many times throughout history because people that believe in astrology can find a way to make it make sense? Like, you know what I mean? Like they're...
Yeah. They can like reach...
when they're having a child born on December 25th, when they see the star in the sky, when they have Orion's belt pointing to where they are, all of that stuff you can add up to say like, this is,
and maybe that's
somebody special,
and maybe that's how it works. Like, who knows? Like, I don't know. Who knows? Man?
I'm glad that we did this episode because I knew Jesus was gonna be a good guy. I was surprised how little bad we found that he did, and also I learned this tie into just historically, like it's a tale as old as time. The best story ever told, the story of Jesus,
it keeps coming up,
and
it's always somebody who's super loving, and they're like King, Alpha, Omega, all the things that people disrespectfully say now, because people like the way that he's talking about it is fucking amazing. Like when some guy just goes, "Yo, I'm a god, yo." Yeah. Bro, this is it. God body, what up? It's like, that sounds fucked up, and you sound stupid when you're saying that. But like, maybe that's the thing. Maybe it's in you, like he's saying, and you're supposed to be like that. I have no idea. It's crazy. It's so weird. There's so much.
Crazy. It's nuts.
Like maybe you are. Maybe because he says the kingdom's inside you. Yeah. So you're a god. So maybe it's like just every once in a while somebody clicks into that and actually runs with it. You know?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. My boy Cosmic Flame's doing that right now. He says he's a god. Says he's the best. Kanye West is doing that.
Yeah,
right now.
I had a friend that told me he feels like God is in him, and I was like, oh, I can't wait to have a conversation with you about this. But before I've even seen him, because he doesn't live close, so I was waiting for him to come back to Toronto.
Yeah.
And now he's like, yeah, no, I don't think so anymore.
Yeah.
I'm like, fuck, that feeling didn't last too long.
That was quick. That's fucking funny. He's like, nah, you know what? Second thought.
Second thought, I'm not God.
I was out on Lake Ontario. It didn't work out, bro.
Yeah. Yeah, I sunk.
I almost drowned.
But yeah, I urge people to look into the Book of Thomas as well. The Book of Thomas, the 114 sayings of Jesus. It's just pretty much stuff that you could use in your daily life, even if you're not religious at all.
Exactly.
Just about harnessing your inner power.
And
The disciples said to Jesus, "We know that you will depart from us. Who then will rule over us?" Jesus said to them, "No matter where you came from, you should go to James the just, for whose sake heaven and earth came into being." Now that quote, I don't know what that's supposed to tell you guys. I just picked a random one. It didn't work out.
Oh, it's you. It's him.
James Jam Easy Cummins on Pros and Conquerors, the Bad Boys of History. Looks like you're already here. Ruling.
James the Just.
You rule.
Look at it. Wow. You just picked that one randomly? Fuck off. You didn't pick that one.
Swear to God, I picked that one randomly. Swear to God.
Swear to God?
Swear to God.
Are you related to this guy that you're talking about?
Yeah, on my father's name.
Oh, fuck.
No, I swear I really did pick that randomly, but I don't feel like that one really told us anything.
Well, if you know who James the Just is.
Who is it?
I don't know.
Like,
There's no famous James right now that you consider godly.
No.
And you got a nose ring. I think it's him. I've decided.
That's funny. Anyways, so what do you think, Jesus, man? What's your overall thoughts on him?
Give me another one.
Give you another one? Okay.
I like these.
I'll give you another one of these, and then I'll give you some of Jesus's more mainstream bangers. These are his underground classics.
It's before he got signed.
This is before he got signed. Okay. Jesus says, "I stood in the middle of the world, and in flesh I appeared to them. I found all of them drunk. None of them did I find thirsty. And my soul ached for the children of humanity, because they are blind in the heart, and they cannot see. For they came into the world empty, and they also seek to depart from the world empty. But now they are drunk. But when they shake off their wine, then they will change their mind."
100%. How many times have you seen that? Somebody's just fucked up for no reason, running on default mode, addicted to shit.
Let's hit up some of
And
Jesus's top 10 bangers.
And then they sober up. And
Top 10 mainstream classics.
That's amazing.
"For God so loved the world that he gave his only son, that whoever believes in him should not perish, but have eternal life." Believe in Jesus. That's what they say. Do you remember that one?
And you get to live forever. It's so weird.
"For everyone who exalts himself will be humbled, and everyone who humbles himself will be exalted." Now I have a question for you. What's exalted mean?
Oh, wait. Say that again for everybody.
What does exalted mean?
No. Say the thing, because I got to hear it in a sentence. Say it.
Oh. For everyone who exalts himself will be humbled, and everyone who humbles himself will be exalted. I'll look it up.
I think that means absolved. Like, I think it's another word for absolved of your sins.
Placed at a high or powerful level, held in high regard.
Oh shit! It's like the opposite of what I said.
That's the opposite. And these are the mainstream ones. "I am the way, the truth, and the life. No one comes to the Father except through me."
Wow.
There's only one way to get to God, Jesus.
We see.
No wonder that people were getting mad about it then.
Yeah, right.
Like, come on. There's got to be more than one way to get to God.
And they're like, we were just listening to these rabbis. They're very old. They've been showing us God, and now you're saying it only goes through you.
Yeah.
So now what are you saying about our God? Are you saying that we're following a different one?
A little cocky, Jesus.
A little antichrist.
He started flexing a little too hard.
A little antichrist. Oh no. Jewish people, they're pure. The chosen ones.
Ooh.
But they actually believe that he was a miracle worker, but he just wasn't the Messiah. They believe that he had like very special powers and special abilities.
That's good. I'm glad they at least give him that credit. It's like
they're like, yeah, he did some shit.
Yeah, it's like I don't think Jay-Z is the best rapper of all time, but he's pretty good. Like he has a lot of tracks that are good.
He has some bars.
And know that I am with you always. Yes, to the end of time. That's the one that we talked about before. That's like the end of ages.
Right, because if it's Christ consciousness, it would be with you to the end of time. It would stay with you forever because your consciousness, when you leave, it stays.
Damn.
Ugh. So he'd always be with you. Yo, I wish I could meet this guy.
I would love to have lunch with Jesus.
Just to fucking just see what he looked like and actually like just be able to talk to him. Like, what is all this? Like,
hey, Jesus, what do you want for lunch? Some fish, I bet. Want some fish and bread?
And he was like, no, what do you want? And you're like, I don't know. And all of a sudden you're like, oh. You start pulling out the thing that you wanted from your mouth. And he's like, there you go, buddy.
You're already fed. You have been eating since the moment you sat down with me. I am Jesus Christ the Lord. Number 6 on the top 10 Jesus Christ quotes countdown. But I say to you, love your enemies and pray for those who persecute you, so that you may be your sons. So that you may be sons of your Father who is in heaven. For he makes his sun rise on the evil and on the good, and sends rain on the just and onto the unjust. Love your enemies, man.
So yeah, he's saying love the haters, you know.
Love your haters.
Wait, go back up.
They say you're not the son of God. You're like,
yeah, because he's saying, yeah, because that little part, so that you may be sons of your. So it's like, so you can be godly. Because always forgive, and God always forgives. So you got to do that so you can be closer.
Jesus' core values: forgiveness, unconditional love, do unto others of you and do unto yourselves,
and do mushrooms.
He said he who is without sin costs. So basically, non-judgment, loving, do unto others if you do unto yourselves, forgive.
But if two guys are too close to each other, they have demons in them.
Definitely. Do not be anxious about tomorrow, for tomorrow will be anxious for itself.
Whoa.
Let the day's own trouble be sufficient for the day. That's good.
Wow, that's sick.
Put that on a calendar.
Don't worry about the things you cannot change.
Put that on a bare ass quote. Shout out to bare ass quotes at bare ass quotes on Instagram.
That's a pretty good. You shout yourself out like that? Okay.
Myself, that's a crazy Instagram page I just follow. We might as well finish number four on the top 10 Jesus Christ quotes. For what shall it profit a man if he gain the world and suffer the loss of his soul?
You know what? There's going to be a lot of guys who are going to be asking that question when they die. There's going to be a lot of famous guys asking that question. Suffer the loss of your soul for the whole world. And you know what? I'm starting to look at people who are like mega rich celebrity types like that. Like, is it all worth
who do you think lost their soul?
All of them. I think it's a metaphor. Just
LeBron
like
James?
Yeah, of course.
What?
Yeah.
I think he's pretty good, man. That guy's solid.
Yeah.
Same with Tom Brady.
Last night I saw him using the game. What did he do? He was like bang, bang, bang. Yeah. Okay. Whatever. LeBron James. He lost. He definitely lost it.
Wow.
But I think it's metaphorical because I had a comic.
No.
He even said to me, a guy that we both know. He's like, I lost my soul. And I was like, what do you mean? I'm like, what did you do? I'm like, you go through some ritual? And he's like, no. He's like, I signed things that I didn't know what they were, and I signed a bunch of things, and it's like it puts you in a place of like they have this part of you forever, and you don't really have control of it anymore. And he's like that's like losing your soul. I think that's more what it is when you can't do anything. When you can't do anything, you have to live for you're almost like a cage, like you're in this platinum cage.
If you get stuck in a loveless marriage, you at a job that you hate, that could be considered losing your soul.
It could be like that's why we call like some dead end jobs. People refer to them as like soul sucking, right? Like I don't know that it's like a a pentagram in a dark room with fucking Rothschilds everywhere or some shit. I don't know that it's that. It's just like when you sign off to like too much of yourself, and then all of a sudden you don't have control over what you tweet, what you say, who you hang out with, who you can be seen with. Your views all of a sudden are dictated by somebody else. At that point, it's like
in that sense, I could see what you mean.
Like
Because LeBron couldn't acknowledge like a genocide going on in China because his money is tied so tightly to China. So that, in a sense, is bad for his soul because he is a guy that I feel like he does a lot of good, and he speaks up on a lot of good issues. But being held, he's still being held in some ways.
100%. And speaking of that, like I remember Jay-Z, he has a freestyle talking about I got my soul back. And it's funny because like when you first hear that and you think of all this Satan stuff, you're like, no, you're not getting your soul back. But it's like if all of a sudden you're free from those contracts and now you can say what you want to say, you can grow your hair the way you want to grow your hair. Yeah. Like how long has he wanted to do that? You can be with this person. You can express your views here. All of a sudden it's like I got my soul back. I can do things for humanity again. Whereas when you're locked in that shit, you can't do anything for people. Think about how many rich people there are who don't do anything for anybody. Like how many like celebrities couldn't like really go and like change the town they came from, like nothing. They can just like nothing. Change the whole world, really. They could all get together and have a celebrity fund, and it could probably have like $1 billion in it. Just from each of them giving like 20% of what they have. Yeah. There would probably be $1 billion that they could just give and spread throughout the communities. But they don't. And I don't think it's because they're heartless, because they can't. They're not allowed. I don't know. Maybe.
Truth bombs.
Maybe I'm Jesus.
Okay. What are we at? Number three. There's only top 3 Jesus Christ quotes. So I say to you, ask, and it will be given to you. Search, and you will find. Knock, and the door will be open for you. Just do it. Just do it.
Yeah, this is all stuff that like you hear in The Secret, like you're saying, in like those proverbs of like Hinduism and stuff.
That's why I think the same stuff. Jesus had a lot more of this internal uplifting what's one of my manifestation, all that stuff. Like then I knew all the love thy neighbor, I knew all the don't judge people. Big one for Jesus is the golden rule: do unto others as you do unto yourselves. Those are the ones I always think of Jesus for,
of course.
But all this like inner positivity, I don't even know how to put it into words, but it's like
self-belief, it's like self-love, self-belief,
self-help, all that stuff. Okay, number two, a new command I give you: love one another, and I have loved you, as I have loved you, so you must love one another. It's pretty good that I can read all these quotes with dyslexia. I do my best.
You have it? Do you actually?
You know what I mean? I knock and and the door's open for me.
Or are you just bad at it? Because I have dyslexia.
I think I have dyslexia. Yeah. Because if I try and read a book, words will end up in the wrong places.
Everything jumbles up.
Yeah,
it's weird.
That's why I've never read a full book.
That's why we do podcasts.
Little secret.
I can't read. You never read a full book?
I've never read a book front to back.
Wow, that's why this guy's coming to the cookout. Good for you. I've never read a book either.
Okay.
I've never read a
the closest I ever got was Lord of the Flies in grade 10. We had to read it as a class, but
no,
I still skipped a couple chapters.
Yeah, I've never finished.
I'll be like, I'll read like a page. I'm like, okay, I get it. Let's go next chapter. I get the gist of it. Now, the number one quote on top 10 Jesus Christ quotes at brainyquote.com. Shout out to Brainy. Do not let your hearts be troubled. Trust in God. Trust also in me.
Do not let your hearts be troubled. Yeah, it's so true. Yeah, no, because if you don't let your heart get troubled by a bunch of bullshit, like you'll be fine. Like if you let your heart get like filled up with a bunch of shit, like a bunch of people's problems, stresses, sadnesses, and shit.
Holy shit!
What?
I just scrolled to the 114th quote in Jesus's 114 sayings. This is back to that book of Thomas. This didn't make it into the Bibles. Simon Peter said to them, "Let Mary go away from us, for women are not worthy of life." Jesus said, "Look, I will draw her in so as to make her male, so that she too may become a living male spirit, similar to you. But I say to you, every woman who makes herself male will enter the kingdom of heaven." What?
What's going on with you, Jesus?
What?
What's going on?
That's his last. No wonder they didn't put that in the Bible. That's weird, man. Hanging out and he was like writing down Jesus' sayings, like, "Oh, that's a good one, Jesus." He would write it down, and then when he presented it to the Bible, and people were putting the Bible together, like, "Hey, Book of Thomas, kick rocks. We're just trying to tell a nice story over here."
Let Mary go for women or not. You know what? And that's so oh my God, yeah. I don't mean
What?
Eureka! This all makes sense now. No, it's so funny because I've spoken to like a monk.
Yeah.
Again, back to monks, and he had the same thing. He was saying the same thing.
That women have to be men to get into heaven?
Yeah, he was like, a woman will not, like, yeah. He was like, a woman won't go to heaven. He's like, a woman will repeat the life again until she's a man. And then follow the virtues.
This is wild, yo. Never heard of this.
That's exactly what this monk said. And it's so, it's only standing out so much because a monk said it. And like, this guy for sure disappeared into fucking India. He came back talking like Gandhi.
Very interesting. I don't know. We got
women are not worthy of light. Yo, it's so funny because it goes right with what this monk said. He's like, they just don't go to heaven. He's like, because of their skill set and everything, like not skill set in terms of what they can do, but like in terms of heart and values and stuff. He's like, they don't go. He's like, they have to go, like restart life again, and they only get it until they become a man.
That's crazy.
That's so fucked, and then that's exactly
no wonder they're not getting paid as much.
What?
They got a whole nother lifetime to make money.
Oh my god.
Anyways.
Yo, that's so weird. That's so weird. He for sure went to India. And it's heaven. And any person who comes back from heaven would be the son of God.
We're gonna get some hate on this episode, but we're just like guys learning stuff.
No
we're not
hate. What hate?
We're not scholars. We're just learning.
I'm saying that this monk actually said this, and it's so because I didn't think the monk what he was. He also.
No, I don't think we're gonna get hate on people for our views on women. I think we're gonna get hate.
He also said that to drink cum. He also said that I should drink cum.
Well,
like there was a bunch of things this guy was saying.
See, not only is my co-host black, he's also gay. So we can say whatever the fuck we want.
Jesus, just because I say it doesn't mean.
And honestly, he was born a woman. He's just trying to get into heaven. This guy's pretending to be a man over here.
But like, it's so funny because what do you think they actually mean by that? How could that? Like, how does that? I guess that's why they didn't put it in because they're like, we don't even understand how this makes sense. Because it's like,
now next time I meet
Mary didn't go to heaven after having Jesus.
I know he's like,
she pushed out Jesus. Yeah, and she's not getting into heaven.
That's wild. I know we pray on the rosary.
That's
to get into heaven. And she can't even get in. The Hail Mary. We say all these Hail Marys.
Oh, yeah, that too. She's on the thing.
Wow. Yeah. But now I'm going to, next time I see somebody that was born female but has decided to become male, I'll be like, hey, trying to go to heaven, eh?
That's what you're
I see you're trying to go to heaven, aren't you?
You're trying to get the... That's so weird.
Very.
Like, what does he mean by that? Like, I don't know. It's so weird. See, and this is the thing.
It's also the closer in the Book of Thomas. That's the last quote he wrote by Jesus. It's 114 sayings, and that's the last one. What the hell?
Like, I don't... See, this is the thing. With that, it's like, what's the translation? Because like I said, like when you were talking about being on the cross...
All of that could be mistranslated.
When people translate when he was on the cross, he says, please don't leave me. You're going. Don't leave me. He doesn't say, oh, you've forsaken me. He says, you're leaving. Like, yo, where are you going?
Yeah.
Like he can actually see something like taking off and leaving. That's the actual translation.
Interesting.
So it's like, what's the translation of male and female at that point?
Yeah, it could be something different.
But because it's also like, like the meek shall inherit the earth.
Yeah.
Like, that's not the statement.
What is it?
Like, it's the meek shall inherit the earth. It's something about, like, because if you were meek, it didn't mean that you were, like, a bitch. It didn't mean, like, you were unable to defend yourself. It meant that you had a weapon and you could defend yourself, but you kept it, like, sheathed. You kept it in its case. That's what meek meant. So it meant that you were smart enough to talk things out, but you also could go to war if you needed to. And that's what it meant by the meek shall inherit the earth. But when we hear it today, it means something completely different.
Yeah.
We think you're supposed to be meek, and that's not what they're talking about at all.
Interesting.
So as I wonder what that actually translates
the translation is very debatable. The Book of Thomas itself is debatable. Did Jesus go to India? Did he see the mystics? All of this stuff is debatable, but it makes for an interesting tale. And it's the tale as old as time. It's the best story ever told. Jesus Christ, thanks for all the inspiration you've done. You made people... you made some people...
Full. This has never happened before. We're full over here. Hold on. We gotta keep you can talk into that, but we're full. We gotta hold on.
I'll just hold on. And then once you plug in the card, we'll just wrap it up.
Okay.
It's
It's gonna be us two, and we'll just rotate a third in, see how it goes, and then
Yeah.
if any chemistry catches like wildfire, we'll just keep it up.
That's what I think we should do, definitely.
Yeah.
But another theory with that male and female, with what he was saying.
Oh, are we picking up? Okay, let's pick up.
Oh yeah, we gotta pick up.
Hey guys, we just had a little technical difficulties. We ran out of tape because when you're talking about Jesus, you got a lot to say. Have you seen how thick the Bible is? Have you seen Passion of the Christ? They're all, you can't put that in a bite-sized version.
Thick.
So we're back on Pros and Conquerors, the Bad Boys of History. We're gonna wrap up this Jesus Christ episode. What were you saying?
I was just gonna say the male and female thing, because he went over there, and maybe went over to India. Maybe he was learning about spirituality, because he seems like he's in this self-help thing. One thing that everybody gravitates to more now is the divine feminine and the masculine. So maybe it's because a woman is already equipped with the feminine that she has to learn the masculine part, and then she gets in. But then why would he then, like, because males don't automatically have the feminine shit going on. Like, I've been told I have feminine energy. Yeah, but not all feminine.
All that, after you drink all that cum. that's what the monk said to you. Drink cum, it'll be good for you. I can see you have that feminine energy.
But I think I have it from being a mama's boy. That's what I think it's from.
You didn't drink any cum, did you?
No.
All your wildest dreams will be achieved. All you have to do is drink this cum.
Yeah, no, I couldn't live that kind of life. I was like, nah. I'm like, I like sex. I was fucking with him. I'm like, I like sex way too much, buddy. I'm like, you know about pussy, right? I'm like, I love pussy. Yeah. I was just fucking with him.
I do think that Jesus, like at the Last Supper, when it was just the 12 boys there, the 12 disciples, your closest boys, you know what I mean? And they must have been like, wow, look at all the cool things Jesus has done in his life. We're going to the Last Supper. He's probably got some cool miracles planned, right? All of a sudden, you go to take a sip of your wine, and he's like, that's my blood, dog. You're like, oh, what the fuck, Jesus? That's gross, man. Oh, by the way, that bread, my body.
Could you imagine? Can you imagine you're drinking the wine, you're like, and then you look down the table, and you see Jesus like this. He just has a cut on his arm. He's just like, yeah. There you go, guys. There you go. Everybody's good. Good and sweet.
Judas, I'm going to top you up with a little extra. I think you need a little extra blood of Christ. Don't you, Judas? Don't you? He's like, does he know?
Can you imagine the whole time Jesus just winking at Judas every time he sees him? What's up, bro?
Yeah.
You good? I'm sure you're good. All right, man. You catch what I'm doing right now, Judas? Yeah. All right. Cool, man.
Well, I will be attending church tomorrow.
Really?
I watch the sermons. I don't know what people. I wonder when people watch this episode, do they think we're being disrespectful to Jesus or respectful? Because I feel like we're saying mostly good things about him.
I think a true Christian would be happy about any two people talking about Jesus and exploring Jesus and exploring what he thought.
And how about a fake Christian? Or a Catholic jerk.
Which one am I? I'd be fake Christian. I think I'd be.
I don't know. You said a true Christian.
You're a Catholic jerk.
I was raised Catholic, but I'm not a practicing Catholic.
I was raised Christian.
Yeah,
that's what my brother says. At least he like claims that I was baptized. He's like, you were baptized.
I was baptized too. Yeah.
That's what he says. I don't know.
I think they put me in a dress too. as like a baby, my baptismal outfit.
Oh, they put you in a gown thing. It's not a dress.
No, but when my nephew was baptized, we put him in like a white suit. He looked fresh. Yeah.
There you go. Yeah, you should do that.
Yeah, we've come a long way from putting little boys in dresses, haven't we, Catholic Church?
Those are gowns. They're like big things. Don't priests wear gowns to an extent?
Yeah.
Or like popes.
Priests do too. They wear the.
Do they?
Yeah.
Pause.
Anyways, I think that was a good episode. Happy Easter. Enjoy your Easter coming up.
Oh, yeah. This was for Easter.
Jesus died for our sins. You want to get fucked up and have a good time. Don't forget that Jesus died for that shit.
That's 100% true. When you're fucking planting eggs around, you know what I mean? Make a Jesus egg for this Easter, you know? I bet you never do that.
What's your favorite Easter treat?
My favorite Easter treat? Well, I never know when Easter is because I don't have anything like that in my life. I'm a very odd person. The only way that I know Easter is coming is because my girlfriend will be like, hey, there's a dinner happening and it's this time. You got to be ready.
Cadbury mini eggs?
You mean the cum eggs? Oh, you like cum eggs. Oh, so now I'm supposed to drink, but you like cum eggs.
Why are they cum eggs?
Because there's cum in them.
No, Cadbury mini eggs. What are you talking
What
about?
do you mean? Are they filled with stuff?
No, that's the fatter ones.
It's
Cadbury
disgusting.
mini eggs are such a tasty treat. Just little
What's
chocolate.
in it? Nothing?
Just candy coated chocolate, but like the whatever the egg is, buddy, you gotta try these mini eggs.
No, I don't have any. I've never I've never really celebrated Easter. I've never done Easter egg hunts or anything like that. But yeah, I'm sure.
I wish I had some mini eggs to give you right now.
I was a depressed child. I didn't do stuff like that.
Somebody get Colin some mini eggs. Show him what Easter's all about.
If you guys send us food, we won't eat it. Okay. We can't.
I might multiply it so I can feed the whole neighborhood now that we know I'm James the Just. Anyways, guys, you can find me at jam_easy on Instagram. Tune into Jam Easy Does It from the End of the Earth, which is Tuesdays and Wednesdays, 9:30-ish. It could be Tuesday. It could just be Wednesday. We'll see.
Also, fun fact about Jam Easy: he's not wearing pants.
I'm wearing
Not
shorts.
pants.
I'm a man that once I see the sun come out in the sky and warm up the earth a little bit, I just put shorts on.
I can see his whole thigh if I look down. I can see the whole thing. Like he's slapping
Strong
it, flexing
thighs.
it. Thick thighs save lives.
Yeah.
Fucking, you can find me at Colin's Process. I'm making art. I'm about to drop my first NFT collection.
Ooh,
this week.
Interesting.
Yeah.
How much are you gonna sell them for?
I'm gonna sell them really cheap because I don't believe in myself as an artist. No,
Okay.
I'm kidding. I'm gonna sell it really cheap because
What's really cheap though to an artist? I don't even know.
I'm gonna do it for like 0.03 ETH.
Okay,
That's Ethereum. So that's like it's very low. It's very low.
Maybe I'll go.
Some artists. Are
I
doing
wanted
like
to say
20.
right away that I'll buy one, but I didn't want to commit until I know
It's
what
cheap,
loan you.
it's cheap.
Because
You can do it,
sometimes
you can
people
do
say, "Oh, it's really cheap. I'm
Nah,
just gonna sell these paintings for $300." Because normally I would sell them for $1,000.
Yeah,
I don't have $300.
No, I wouldn't do that. They'll probably be like they'll be like 70, maybe.
Bucks?
Yeah, I think it depends what ETH
That's how much
turns
ETH
into.
is?
Yeah, if it, whatever that ETH is, because I want to collect ETH.
I may
like
or may
Ethereum.
not buy one. I don't have Ethereum right now.
You know how to get it? Do you know how?
No.
All right, I'll show you. I'll show you how.
He will show me the light.
So I'm gonna get some. I got that going on. I got my podcast. I'm gonna drop it soon. I'm very lazy about it. I'm gonna get fucking consistent with it.
Colin's Process?
Watch me fly. I'm gonna do it 3 times a week.
That's great.
I am.
And
But no interviews. Just
we're going to
me.
start a new one too.
Oh yeah.
We have a birth of our new podcast. Should we announce it right now?
Oh, yeah, we're allowed because he said we can do it, and I think that name's good.
Because this episode's coming out on Monday. All right, so next week, let's commit to it right now.
You want it? Okay, cool. Let's do
We're
it.
dropping a new podcast. Now, you hear us here talking about history, but how about we talk about what's going on right now? Wagwan with the Wagwan. Jam Easy and Colin coming at you starting in April.
Wagwan with the wagwan.
Wagwan with the Wagwan.
Back on my bullshit.
Yeah, and I'll say our theme song, it's a banger.
Straight banger.
We'll talk more about it next week when we drop the episode, but guys, look forward to it. This is Pros and Conquerors, the bad boys of history. I'm James Jam Easy Cummins.
I'm Colin Cummings, and it's been amazing.
May Christ be with you.
In Jesus' name, we
Amen.
end this podcast. Amen.
Jesus loves me, that I know, for the Bible tells me so. Guys, go with Christ.
Thank you for listening to Pros and Conquerors, the bad boys of history. Rate, review, subscribe, and share. And remember to participate on our Instagram and shit and all that good stuff and blah, blah, blah.
Follow us on Instagram.